Good morning and welcome to this morning's podcast. I want to speak a little bit about the difference between living from the inside out and living from the outside in. Now, most of us just naturally, normally live from the outside in. This is what we have been programmed to do, conditioned to do, starting from a very early age, right? We react to circumstances, conditions, what we read in the papers, what we watch on the news, and we use our imagination to create these stories around these external informations that come to us. And the stories that we create around these then form our limiting beliefs about what we can or cannot do, or how unhappy we are because of all the things that are happening in the world around us, and things are not great, and so on and so forth. And so said this to me, and so said that to me, etc. This is living from the outside in. You get triggered, you react to things, and you feel like you're just a little cog in a massive world that you have no control over, and that, you're a victim in, basically. And that kind of living really creates a constant space in your consciousness of anxiety, of fear, of frustration, of anger, helplessness, and that space is held in the subconscious mind. That is also a reason why most people don't feel like they are in any position to set a goal in their lives, or to ask for anything that is beyond their financial reach, or beyond the reach of everything that they've been told by the outside world that they are worthy of, or deserving, or can, due to some whatever social structures that they cannot achieve. So most people just go through life saying, hoping for the best and expecting the worst. And here we go. This is another symptom of living from the outside in. You feel that hope is your best option. I have hope. I have hope, but I'm expecting the worst, because the outside world is showing me that very quickly the worst case scenario can happen. And my expectation keeps me on guard and ready for something like that to happen. Now, there was a time in human history where expecting the worst kept us alive. But today, expecting the worst brings the worst about, because our consciousness, our awareness has evolved, and we are more and more beings of thought, beings that have moved into an awareness of the mind and of our imagination, of creativity. And with that, our power of manifestation is also evolved. Now, the thing about expecting the worst and having your perception tuned towards being ready for the worst means that every little shake in the bush, every little bit of news, a few words that sort of, resonate with that expectation can set off a whole sequence of imaginary thought, images of worst case scenarios, anger, frustration, and then those are expressed by how we behave and how we act. Now, you may be in a perfectly safe and peaceful environment, but you've just heard on the news that this terrible thing is happening. And so you walk into this environment, and the first little thing that triggers you gets a reaction out of you that is completely disproportionate to what really is. And we are conscious beings, so we actually have a choice at this moment in time to start shifting from living from the outside in, which is at best a life of compromise, to living from the inside out. And living from the inside out is understanding your mind, understanding that you're an expression of mind, that you are, first of all, a spiritual being, knowing that you have a divine power inside you, and knowing that your imagination is that divine power moving into form on a non-physical level first. And when you put emotions into that imagination, emotions is a more dense frequency. It is not as flighty as thoughts. Luckily, all thoughts don't become things, but the thoughts that you emotionally are involved with, those then are connected into your body through the emotion, because you feel emotions in your body. Emotions are connected to your nervous system. And so those thoughts that repeatedly sort of generate an emotion or are emotionally invested then move through your body, through your expression, through your behavior into an outer manifestation in your life. This is a really important thing to understand. That the things that you fear is a very powerful emotion. The worst that you're expecting is tied into your emotions of fear. And that is then influencing and controlling the vibration your body is in. And you cannot then expect to come up with solutions, to come up with positive ideas, to come up with positive outcomes when you are vibrating on that level. So how do we move from living from the outside in to living from the inside out?